This episode of TechnoBuffalo is brought to you by Squarespace. Why did TPain dump AutoTune? Why is our own Buffalo, Mike Perlman, hanging out in New York City with rock stars? Did Google TV kill Logitech dead and cost a top executive his job? Or are they just gearing up for the big ice cream sandwich push this fall? Are honor systems dead? What are they doing on the internet anyway? And why is a giant consumer electronics company sending these things out to people? Hark! Over yonder, is that a buffalo I see? No, it's a rumor! It's Rumor Roundup. What is going on, everybody? I'm Noah Kravitz from TechnoBuffalo, and welcome to the Roundup for today, Friday, July 29th, 2011. Why did Samsung send me a telescope? We'll get to that in a minute. First off, our own Mike Perlman has been in New York City finding worms in the Big Apple all week long. He had the chance to hang out with rock legends. His words, not mine, but really they are, because they were caught stealing once when they were only 5. Perry and Steven from Jane's Addiction. LG threw a big party to celebrate the launch of the Thrill 4G, their 3D phone for AT&T with 3D camcorder, 3D playback capability, all that stuff. We sent Mike down to the Apple. They had a concert, Jane's Addiction. There was a whole thing where you're going to be able to record the concert in 3D, make a big film out of it. I guess that didn't work out, but Mike did get a chance to check out the show and spend a little time talking to Perry and Steven about the future of digital music. So check that out if you're a digital music fan, just interested in the future of digital media online, or want to see what band Mike was repping on his vintage rock t-shirt. I'll give you a hint, dancing in the streets of Hyannis. That's all I'm saying. Mike, I see you. I see you. You're in New York, not in Hyannis. Speaking of digital music, the man who made AutoTune famous, and who got famous by AutoTune, is now suing the company who made it easy for you and me to AutoTune ourselves. What? Rapper TPain is suing Antares Technologies to get them to take his likeness off of everything having to do with AutoTune. Why? Because TPain's done being AutoTuned. Apparently, he wants to sound more natural on his upcoming album and recordings, but at the same time, he's also partnered with a new company for something called the TPain effect. I don't know, man. This is giving me the headache effect. Get it? I should have said the head pain effect, the NK pain. I see you, TPain. I still hear you with AutoTune. We'll have to see what happens. I don't know. Can he sue them after all this? I guess it depends on the contracts. The legal system's crazy. But look and listen for the TPain effect, whatever that is, coming soon from a company called Isotope. Speaking of things getting dumped, the CEO of Logitech is on his way out the door after the company reported very, very meager, bleak, bad, awful. Logitech, I see your Q1 profits, and they weren't very big. Very bad financial earnings in Logitech's Q1 report. And the headline here is something we already knew. Google TV didn't really catch on. Logitech is slashing the price of their Reveue, the Logitech branded Google TV box, from $249 all the way down to $99. The company says they're doing this in an effort to bolster adoption of the platform, perhaps ahead of a relaunch in time for the holiday shopping season? Maybe, you'd hope so, because Google I/O, the company, previewed a new version of the platform built on Honeycomb, Android 3, and said it would be coming out by late summer. The new version looks a lot more promising than the old version, which I tested out before I joined up with TechnoBuffalo, but I'll give you my review right here in 2 words. Don't like. Really didn't like Google TV, and then the whole thing happened with content studios blocking access to content from their websites on Google TV because they didn't want you watching the web videos on your TV because they would lose out on ad revenues even though it's the same stuff. And the whole thing, the media companies having to reinvent themselves as the internet just makes everything go crazy. I see you out there, pirators. I see you on Mini Nova. At any rate, Google TV's early partners, Sony and Logitech, bore the brunt of the mislaunch, if you will. And now, Logitech's CEO bearing the brunt by being out the door. Logitech investors bearing the brunt by having revenues, profits, everything go down, down, down. But consumers interested in Google TV who hadn't yet picked one up, you guys and gals can win because the price being slashed from $249 to $99. Hopefully, the Reveue product will be upgradable. I don't see why it wouldn't. It'd be a disaster if it wasn't. To the new version of Google TV which again is hopefully coming out before the end of summer as originally mentioned, or at least in time for the big holiday shopping season fiesta. Speaking of TV, I actually just called my cable company yesterday. I'm here in Oakland, California, and use Comcast, or I guess they call themselves Xfinity now, mainly because Fios isn't available where I live. But we had cable in the house, cable modem, cable TV, HD DVR box, cable card in the TiVo, all that stuff. Called yesterday, slashing everything. I actually was just going to get rid of the TV service altogether, get some bunny ears for the TV sets, and then we already have the Netflix subscription. Maybe sign up for Hulu, maybe not, I don't know. Turns out it was cheaper to keep the very, very basic cable, not even basic cable, but just the local network channels and the HD feed. Cheaper to keep that than to go all the way down to just the internet service, because the way they do their crazy bundles. So I'm cutting the cord, mostly, I guess. So I will be interested to see what happens with the Google TV platform later this year. But more interesting is the new line of Roku boxes that just came out. Our own esteemed editor-in-chief, Mr. Sean, is a big Roku fan, picked up one of the new boxes, says it's awesome, it's tiny, it works great. So we'll be looking forward to some reviews of the new Roku gear, put it up against Apple TV, put it up against the other stuff from Boxy, from Sony, a ton of streaming boxes out now. Asus, new Asus box, just cleared the FCC, I believe. And then, of course, we'll see what happens with Logitech and Google TV later on this year. Are honor systems dead? I hope not. But the internet world of honor system-based commerce, which is big, big commerce, believe me, took a blow earlier this week when an Airbnb customer posted a blog post explaining how her apartment was trashed by people who rented it out through the Airbnb service. If you're not familiar, Airbnb is a service that basically lets homeowners or apartment dwellers or what have you rent out their pads when they're away. So let's say I go away, I list my home on Airbnb, you're going to be in town, you find my listing, you rent my place, so that way you don't have to stay in a hotel, you can stay in my awesome, awesome house, and I can make a little bit of money to pay for my vacation by renting it out to you. Now, apparently the deal is that when you use Airbnb, you don't actually talk directly to each other until some money's laid down on the table. Everything goes through Airbnb, so I don't actually know who you are who's renting my house until the end. I've never used it, that's just what I understand from reading about it. Apparently this happened, and this poor woman was away on vacation, rented her place out through some people through Airbnb. While she was away, the people were sending her these lovely, sweet emails talking about, how great your place is and the natural sunlight and blah, blah, it's awesome. She gets back home, her place is utterly trashed. I mean, from reading the post, you can't even imagine the damage that was done. Just sounds premeditated and crazy and awful. You can go on to TechnoBuffalo.com. Adriana wrote up the story. It's disturbing. It's terrible. But the whole thing now is, well, this is all based on the honor system and based on the community that Airbnb has built up and everything. But is it trash now? Also, I see you conspiracy theorists who are saying, I bet this person was planted by the Hotel Lobby Association because the hotel industry is scared of places like Airbnb because they could really put a dent in, if not, take them out of business. This whole internet thing's crazy disruptive. Music industry, TV industry, the hotel industry. I mean, what's next? Publishing? Anyway, interesting to see how this all plays out. Apparently Airbnb not legally liable, but they have stepped up to try to help the poor woman out with financial and other assistance in the wake of what sounds like just an awful, awful experience. I don't know. Head over to TechnoBuffalo.com, read Adriana's piece, chime in. Is honor dead, or should you just use a system like Craigslist where you're on your own doing all the listings and doing all that stuff, but you can actually communicate directly with the person, run a background check on them if you want, ask them to send a video of, I don't know, them helping an old lady across the street so they're good people before you rent your place out. Thanks once again to our friends at Squarespace for bringing you this episode of TechnoBuffalo Rumor Roundup. Squarespace is the fast and easy way to create a high-quality blog, portfolio, or any kind of website. If you have questions or need help, Squarespace provides every member with amazing support 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I think the kids call that 24/7. Start your website or blog by choosing from over 60 professionally designed templates, and then add content from your computer, iPhone, or iPad. Squarespace's mobile apps allow you to easily add entries and manage comments from anywhere. Many of the internet's highest trafficked web pages are powered by Squarespace, not to mention many of the personal pages of Revision 3 hosts and personalities. Check out www.squarespace.com to get a 2-week free trial and 10% off when you sign up in July. Just enter the coupon code TECHNO7. That's TECHNO 7. And last but certainly not least, mostly because I've been holding up this silly prop throughout this whole show. Look at that, it wiggles. Turntables might wobble, but they don't fall down. I've been caught stealing. Anyway, as our own Emily Price reported earlier this week, I don't know, I got Jane's Addiction stuck in my head now. I don't know how that went to Run DMC. As Emily reported earlier this week, Samsung announced that they've already sold 5 million Galaxy S2 smartphones in the 85 days since the phone first went on sale in Asia. That's a whopping number of phones, and they haven't reached the States yet. Well, Samsung saw fit to send out a trinket to members of the media, including yours truly. Mine arrived yesterday. It's a telescope, and it came with a little card that said, "Keep lookout for the Galaxy S2," or something like that. Galaxy S2 coming to the United States. Lots of rumors kicking around about where it'll go. The latest is that there will be a version coming to Sprint, also a 4G LTE version coming to Verizon. Assume the Sprint version will be WiMAX, but personally I'm a little bit more excited about the LTE for Verizon because it's faster. Also, rumors kicking around that a white version of the phone will now be on sale in Europe. So it'll be interesting to see when the phone comes to the US, what color or colors is it available in, when will it finally go on sale, what networks. I don't know, a white Galaxy S2 on Verizon might make some people think twice about the iPhone 5. I don't know, I almost got through a whole show without a mention of an Apple product, but I couldn't do it. So there you go. Keep an eye out on TechnoBuffalo.com for all the latest on the Galaxy 2S, all kinds of other stuff, and I'm not going to use this telescope again. I'm done. I'm not using it again today. I'm not going to use it again in another show, unless you ask really, really nicely. All right, till next time, we got people going to rock shows. We got people reporting on the honor system. What else do you need? Well, there's a lot more to be found for sure. Head over to TechnoBuffalo.com, and don't forget to tune in to Revision 3 every Monday, Wednesday, Friday for Ask the Buffalo, What's the Apps, and Rumor Roundup. Until next time, my name's Noah. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.